Philodendron Brasil versus pothos. These two can be tricky twins. My Brasil has thinner, more delicate leaves compared to my pothos thicker, waxier ones. The new growth on my Brasil is fascinating. It emerges from a little sheath that splits open, unlike my pothos's new leaves that simply unfurl. Both are troopers, though. They tolerate my forgetful watering schedule like champs. Philodendron Cream Splash versus Brasil. My Cream Splash, with its stunning white and green marbled leaves, is definitely the showstopper. The Brasil's neon chartreuse variegation is more subtle, but it adds a playful touch. Watering seems a bit trickier with the Cream Splash. Those lighter parts seem more prone to crisping if I overwater. Philodendron Brasil versus Heartleaf. Let's talk classic philodendrons. My Brasil's heart-shaped leaves are more elongated than my heartleafs. The Brasil grows faster too, happily cascading down its pot. Philodendron Heartleaf feels more low-key and compact, perfect for a shelf. They both love a good climb though, so I provide moss poles for them to reach for the sky. Philodendron Brasil versus Lemon Lime. Philodendron Lemon Lime boasts a brighter, more electric yellow variegation than my Brasil. The Brasil's variegation leans more towards a lime green. The Lemon Lime seems a tad fussier about light. It throws tantrums with brown spots if I don't give it enough sunbeams. But those vibrant new leaves are worth the extra attention. Philodendron Brasil versus Silver Stripe. Subtlety versus boldness. That's the story with these two. My Silver Stripe has a thin, elegant silver stripe down the center of each leaf, adding a touch of sophistication. The Brasil's variegation is a broader splash of color. They both grow at a moderate pace, filling their pots steadily. The Silver Stripe seems to be more forgiving of low light conditions, making it a great choice for shadier corners. How to propagate Philodendron Brasil. Propagation of Philodendron Brasil has been a delightful journey for me. I found that the easiest method is through stem cuttings. I select a healthy stem with a few nodes, remove any leaves near the bottom, and place it in water. After a few weeks, roots start to form, and once they're well established, I transfer the cutting to soil. It's rewarding to watch these cuttings develop into full-fledged plants, adding a touch of greenery to my space. How to prune Philodendron Brasil. Pruning my Philodendron Brasil is an essential part of its care routine. I typically trim away any leggy or yellowing stems to encourage new growth and maintain its bushy appearance. I also remove any dead or damaged leaves to keep the plant healthy and aesthetically pleasing. Regular pruning not only promotes the plant's overall health, but also helps to manage its size and shape, ensuring it remains a beautiful addition to my home. Is Philodendron Brasil toxic to cats? As a cat lover and a plant enthusiast, I always make sure to research the toxicity of any plant before introducing it into my home. From my research and personal experience, I've learned that Philodendron Brasil can indeed be toxic to cats if ingested. While the degree of toxicity may vary depending on the amount consumed and the sensitivity of the cat, I prefer to err on the side of caution and keep this plant out of reach of my feline friends to ensure their safety and well-being. Can Philodendron Brasil grow in water? I've experimented with growing Philodendron Brasil in water, and it's been quite successful for me. I start with a healthy cutting, place it in a container of water, making sure that at least one node is submerged. With patience and regular water changes, I've observed roots forming within a few weeks. Once the roots are established, I transfer the cutting to a pot with well-draining soil to continue its growth journey. Growing Philodendron Brasil in water can be a convenient and visually appealing option, especially for those who enjoy watching the roots develop. Can Philodendron Brasil revert? Philodendron Brasil can indeed revert, and it's something I've experienced firsthand in my own collection. Reversion typically occurs when the variegated leaves start producing solid green foliage instead. While some may find this undesirable, I've learned to appreciate it as a natural part of the plant's growth process. To maintain the variegated appearance, I simply trim away any reverted leaves and continue to provide proper care to encourage the growth of variegated foliage. Do Philodendron Brasil flower? In my experience, Philodendron Brasil does not typically flower indoors. While it's not impossible for them to bloom, it's relatively rare compared to their outdoor counterparts. Instead, I find the beauty of this plant lies in its lush green foliage and striking variegation, making it a captivating addition to any indoor space, even without flowers. Do Philodendron Brasil like to be root-bound? Philodendron Brasil, in my experience, doesn't mind being a bit root-bound. I've noticed that when they're slightly constrained in their pots, they tend to produce more vibrant foliage and grow more vigorously. However, it's essential to strike a balance and repot them when their roots become too cramped to ensure continued healthy growth. Does Philodendron Brasil climb? Philodendron Brasil is a natural climber, and I've enjoyed watching it explore and scale its surroundings. I provide it with a moss pole or trellis to support its climbing habit, which not only encourages upward growth, but also enhances its overall appearance. Seeing its aerial roots cling to the support structure is a fascinating aspect of caring for this beautiful plant. How much light does Philodendron Brasil need? In my experience, Philodendron Brasil thrives in bright, indirect light. I've found that placing it near a north or east-facing window works best, as it receives the gentle sunlight it needs without being exposed to direct rays that could scorch its delicate leaves. Finding the right balance of light is crucial to maintaining the plant's health and promoting steady growth. How often to water Philodendron Brasil? Watering my Philodendron Brasil is a task I've learned to approach with care and attention. I typically wait until the top inch or so of soil feels dry to the touch before watering thoroughly, allowing any excess water to drain away completely. Overwatering can lead to root rot, while underwatering can cause stress and stunted growth. So I strive to strike a balance and adjust my watering frequency based on the plant's needs and environmental conditions. How to make Philodendron Brasil bushy? To encourage my Philodendron Brasil to become bushier, I focus on regular pruning and providing it with proper support. By removing leggy or overgrown stems and encouraging branching, I can help the plant develop a fuller and more compact appearance over time. Additionally, providing it with a moss pole or trellis allows the plant to climb and expand vertically, creating a lush and bushy display. How to repot Philodendron Brasil? Repotting my Philodendron Brasil is a task I approach with care and consideration for the plant's well-being. I typically repot it every 1 to 2 years, or when its roots become visibly cramped and outgrow its current container. When repotting, I choose a slightly larger pot with good drainage and fresh, well-draining soil to provide the plant with room to grow and thrive. After repotting, I ensure the plant receives adequate water and adjust its care routine as needed to help it adjust to its new environment. Is Philodendron Brasil a pothose? While Philodendron Brasil and pothos share some similarities in appearance, they are distinct plant species with their own unique characteristics. From my understanding and experience, Philodendron Brasil belongs to the Philodendron genus, while pothos belong to the Epipremnum genus. While they both have vining growth habits and heart-shaped leaves, there are subtle differences in leaf shape, growth patterns, and care requirements that distinguish them from each other. Is Philodendron Brasil rare? Philodendron Brasil is relatively common in the houseplant community and is widely available from nurseries, online retailers, and plant enthusiasts. While it may not be as rare or elusive as some other plant varieties, its striking variegated foliage and easy care requirements make it a popular choice among indoor gardeners. With its vibrant green leaves accented by creamy yellow stripes, it adds a touch of tropical elegance to any space. Why is my Philodendron Brasil not growing? There could be several reasons why your Philodendron Brasil is not growing as expected. From my experience, inadequate light, improper watering, or nutrient deficiencies are common culprits.